Hey everybody, I am Stacy Perez and I am here with Women of Fantasy Football. Tonight we are at the IndyFuel hockey game and we are joined by Eva Hallman and she is a color commentator with the Fuel. Just have a few questions for you, Eva, if you don't mind.
Yes.
So, as a color commentator for hockey,
Yes.
can you tell everybody what has your journey been into the sport and what advice would you give women looking to break into sports?
So I'm actually the first female broadcaster for this team, which I wear that with immense pride. I know it's not an opportunity that comes by very lightly, and there's only 3 other female women broadcasters in this league. And so obviously getting into it can be very difficult at first because obviously not every team has a color commentator. We had one a couple years ago. He went off to the NHL, and then Leanne Strollo, my supervisor, presented the idea almost a year ago today and was like, what if you became the first woman in the booth for our International Women's Night 1 year ago? And so then obviously I took that opportunity and I did it. I was so bad at first. But now I've loved it. I've done the color commentating for this whole Fuel season home games right now.
It's amazing.
And advice that I would give, honestly, just keep pushing. If you have something that you're determined and something that you really are passionate and want to do, just keep going. And you hear that a lot because as a woman, we have to reinvent ourselves. We have to, be 10 times better than the man that's doing it.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean that we can't. And so just because you may be discouraged because there's a man in there now doesn't mean that you can't be in there in the next year.
Well, hockey is such a fast-paced
Yes.
and really dynamic sport. What is your approach to kind of breaking down the game in real time, keeping the fans engaged
Yes.
and also informed at the same time?
Yes. So I do a lot of prep work. There's obviously a lot that goes into it. I watch previous games from both opponents. I do research on all the players. I talk with the players during the week. I go to practice and I watch practice just so I can have a caveat to basically everything, a storyline to every player, a storyline to every game, and I do a lot of research with that. I'm also still a full-time student, so I don't know how I research and then also do this at the same time, but I manage. I figure it out, so it's just been truly incredible. But being able to present the fans with different storylines and maybe nuggets of the players they didn't know, because obviously it's a professional sport and we pay to watch them, but at the same time they're human. And how can I humanize them? Because maybe they're having a bad day, but here's what's going on. Here's a little more about them. So fans on social media sometimes blame them for things, but they're just humans at the end of the day, and they can make mistakes too, just like us.
Absolutely. Lots of caffeine. I feel like
Yes.
that
Oh my
has
gosh.
to be part of how you
I
do
love
it.
Diet Coke, so that's how I survive. Truly.
Well, so it's March. March is Women's History
Yes.
Month. Why is it so important to kind of celebrate and highlight the contributions of women in sports, especially hockey, both on and off the ice?
Oh, it's so important. I love that we have our International Women's Day coming up in about a week, and it just reminds me of all the strength that women can do in the history that we are creating. Oftentimes we don't hear the good history that women are creating. We just, hear about everything that the men are doing, which okay, cool for them. But at the same time, what are the cool things that we're doing? And I've met so many fantastic other women in this league and in this organization. I mentioned Leanne, but Emma as well. Just everyone in this front office, whether it's Halston Nicole from doing partnerships to doing game operations, everyone makes this game, and we always joke that if there weren't women in the IndyFuel, if you took us all out, the game wouldn't happen. You wouldn't have a team. You wouldn't have us. I know all the guys on the ice are guys, obviously, but on the flip side, there wouldn't be butts and seats here at today's game. There wouldn't be a broadcast, really. So just knowing that there's worth in everything, and that you may think that, it's a male-dominated sport, but we're growing up. The PWHL is getting so much more popular.
Exactly.
More women are getting into broadcasting and different aspects of sports. So, we're here to stay. So, why not just surround yourself with positive people?
Absolutely. We have an assistant NHL coach now
Yes.
with Seattle Kraken
She's
and Jessica
fantastic.
Campbell. Yep.
I went to a game to watch the Kraken play, and I just couldn't keep my eyes off her because just the way that she plans and the way that she does her games, she's fantastic, and I can't wait to see her be a head coach one day.
100%. So we are Women of Fantasy Football.
Yes.
I got a fantasy football question for you.
Okay.
I got a couple. Do you play fantasy?
I don't. Here's the thing. So I'm not a big football girl. I'm getting into it because we have the Fisher's Freight coming up.
Right.
So I got to learn football. Joe's been trying to get me to watch football more and more. My mom loves football. I don't. I need to get into it. But as an American and part Canadian, and my allegiance is with the ice. But no, I need to get on that.
Well, that's okay. If you do decide to get into it, we have a ton of resources here at Women of Fantasy Football. So, Eva, thank you so much for your time
Yes, of
today.
course. Thank
And
you.
thanks again.
Yes, of course. Thank you.